I'm Amanda Raquel, confidence coach and voice coach, two amazing people for decades now. And this is my new friend, Katherine the Great. Can we please we add the great. Where did the great come from?
Well, people are always like, oh, Katherine with a K or with a C. And I was born in Russia and Ukraine. And Katherine the Great, of course, hails from there. And what better name than Katherine the Great?
I mean, so tell us about you then, since we're already learning she's from Russia, and of course that makes sense that Katherine the Great is where she got her name from, because it is that she's very ethereal, she's very regal, and a very natural, calm expression of it, right? So tell us more about how you became this woman. Why is that so? What's your background?
Well, coming from very much Eastern European parents, education is important, did all the things, the college, got married, started having the kids, and their life was losing an ease that I've had. It was losing its vibrancy, its vitality for me a little bit, getting a little... do this, gotta stay home. And so I remember thinking, what lit me up as a 20-year-old? What did I love as a teenager? And I went to a dance class. And I remember leaving that dance class re-energized. Yes. And this was after, I have 5 kids, so this is after the second child.
Absolutely.
And... that really, when we talk about who is Katherine,
absolutely,
it's the person that transformed. That not I have kids and so I'm a mom. It's because of the things I've experienced, because I've had these kids, I have become, instead of less and less vital, and it's more and more and more. And that's who I am.
Wow. So I don't know if you could elaborate just on, obviously we have mom, all of us mom knows that's a whole job. And then you keep adding tiers. I don't know. We got to really define and clarify the narrative on, I'm working. Yeah. Like, what do you do? I mom. Yeah. So we have that piece. For you, you have an amazing God-fearing husband. We have that piece. Wife is a whole job. That's a whole therapist, architecture, design, cook. It's a whole situation, right? That's a job. Are there any other facets of your life that you are expelling energy on?
Yeah. I found out in my 30s that I want to be a dancer. I want to be a professional dancer.
Girl, stop.
And I have such passion for it. What? People are like, what do you dream? If you were to retire, what would you do? I would dance 10 hours a day. That's what I would do.
And you found out in your 30s?
I found out in my 30s.
That's when I found out I wanted to be a singer.
Oh, wow.
And I was so irritated by it because I thought everybody knows it when they're kids and everybody knows when they want to be when they grow up.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, is it too late for me?
Is it too late?
That was the thing. And I'm like, after a while, I'm like, what am I doing? I am not going to be this great ballerina.
Right.
But you know what? I kept going and I kept going. I went to Paris, I don't know how many times. I trained with the absolute best person in the world that could, for Brazilian Zouk. I became certified. I failed 3 times. It was the one most devastating. I did my MBA with pregnant with my 5th child. That was really hard.
Is anyone paying attention?
But it was harder. It was passing the dance test because my heart and passion were so into it. And then I passed this last year, and it was amazing.
What is going on?
So I'm quite literally a professional in the field teaching it. So
y'all know I'm a hitter. I'm trying to hit her. And I don't know.
That's a love tap.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
What? So the journey to becoming I'm going to intentionally become a dancer started at about what age, and you just became certified. How long has this been?
So I danced in my 20s a little bit, and that was so joyous, and I loved it, but I'm like, it's expensive. And I needed to spend, save my money. And so after my second child is when I started. I think what didn't stop me, that had stopped me in my 20s, is I'm like, there is nothing better than this joy that I'm feeling. There is nothing better than this vitality that I'm creating for myself. and I just keep going. No matter what. I get the kids want their mom at home. I'm like, there's nothing more important than that
I want to
vitality.
stop her because she's actually giving you all such a huge hack that you will miss it, especially for the woman who is like, why am I lacking in confidence? Why am I not leaning in with like such a juiciness around life? Where is this feminine confidence? This is not a arduous, I gotta make it happen, I'm gonna conquer, I'm the captain of my own fate. This isn't that. This is a feminine approach to just going for the thing. And do you hear? I don't want to elaborate because this is a big piece of all of it. And for those of you who she'll share with you later, the masterclass and the retreat that she's put together for you, you'll be able to see why she is the one who's fostering this, because she already understands for the woman that we feel it. And she allows herself to lean into the feeling, whatever this feeling is, whatever it is, I gotta keep going for it. And you went to Paris several times through the disappointments and kept going. So this is a 2-3 year period?
About 4-year period.
4 years.
That all throughout all of the training, and a lot of resources and a lot of things that are like, this makes no sense.
This makes no sense.
But kept going because I knew the feeling is worth it, that there's something there. Yeah.
I want to give you a pregnant pause because the feeling is worth it. So we're going to have to let you sit with that, because there's so many reasons as to why we don't let the feeling alone for a woman be worth it. It's the intuition. It's the internal compass. There are feelings you're having, and all of them have to be investigated, but there are some of them that you couldn't ignore if you tried. Okay? So we're not going to go too deep in. I just wanted you to know who the heart was and who the person was behind this retreat that we're ecstatic about introducing and inviting you to. And I know there are only a limited few amount of seats left. So this may be too late. Hopefully when we air it, there are seats there still there. But that is the heart. It's like, how do women actually show up consistently, calmly, confidently, and they do it in a way that not only feels good to the people around them, but it feels good to themselves as well. It's win-win. So tell me, do you remember when we met? What happened?
Do.
What happened for you? This is my first time hearing it, y'all. So what happened for you when we met?
I do.
Because you were floating. She came in like, ooh, and there was a little bit of wind. It was all the fans. What happened for you?
So the first time there was some parking lot drama.
Oh, that's what I forgot about.
And I'm coming in, I'm driving in. These are all new people to me. There's parking lot drama. They're like chasing us out of the parking lot. We're switching restaurants. And then Amanda hops in the front seat. And she does so with such energy, like my bestie from 20 years ago, like hopped into my car, and I'm like, did I forget that I have a bestie from 20 years ago? Like with that energy. And I'm like, and then it said, I'm like, can I meet her somewhere? And then I'm like,
oh my gosh, I forgot all that happened, yes.
And then we were at the restaurant, and I just kept thinking to myself, all of the women we were there with, lovely, wonderful people.
They were.
But she was on the other side of the table, and I'm like, dang it. And I'm like, how am I? There's like 2 people between us. Like, how are we going to connect? I have to know. And I'm like, I can't even like awkwardly look at her.
Right, because it was like,
and it wasn't,
It was a long table.
I'm like, I just kind of wanted to study the energy. And then I remember somebody said something, somebody asked her a question, and it revealed something, and it was a tasty morsel, delicious, these words. And then that was my, that was, I think it was about her boys or something. You said something. And I asked, what school or how she schools them and things. And so then it was this opportunity for these like delicious morsels to come out, which is at that point, I just wanted to sit and just absorb what really, I hate to say the wisdom, but it's the wisdom that your body carried,
I have never heard anything phrased that way.
Yeah.
The wisdom your body... You see why I'm like, she's a vibe? The wisdom your body carried. Who doesn't want that compliment? That's crazy. What do you remember the most? Because I'll tell you what I remember the most. The thing I remember the most was you had you're a high performer. Mm-hmm. Someone somewhere mentioned a position. I don't think you even mentioned it here that you work somewhere, but you're you're a high performer, and you were there in a tutu. You were at the breakfast.
Yes.
In like a dance outfit.
Yeah, I had
tutu.
ballet.
You had ballet.
Mm-hmm.
You had ballet after that. I said, I'm sorry. Did you say that the ballerina at the end of the table is like a C-level suite, something executive, and I'm sure you'll notice this as well. The thing I remember the most was the kindness of her eyes. Her eyes light up, and when she's talking, even though they squint a lot, there's like light coming out of her eyes. Are you noticing that in this recording? What stood out for you the most? This is really important for those of us who are women who are like, what is it I'm noticing about? Why do I like this person? That aspect.
I love that question. And the answer is very clear and fast for me, and it comes, but it is not always, an answer where you're like, well, that's not helpful. So the answer is how I felt. It is how I felt. I wanted more of the feeling. I wanted more of, here is a person that defies all of my feelings from regular people that I encounter. Not that you're not a regular person, but there's, honestly, you're special. I hate, not that I hate to say it, but
that's a real thing, though. We all have those moments in our lives.
We all have that. That's the thing. And it's just that you embodied the special. You embodied the special. And I wanted to know what the special was. That's what it was. That is what I remember the most.
There are so many people now that not so many, but because they are special. But you're right, you being one of them, where you can think, I can think of those moments of like there's just a uniqueness to them. Yes. There's a unicorn aspect, is what we call it. And I like how you said that. The body your wisdom holds, you embodied the special. This is fantastic. So this is that aspect of womanhood that we're really excited about introducing women to, right? It's this really encapsulating and allowing yourself to be so vibrant in an inviting way that it brings about a thirst, and not only in the people around you, but even in yourself. You want more of you. It's amazing. So tell me what it is that then motivated you to say, let's do a retreat. Because on April 26th,
yes,
you make it happen. She finds the cutest space here in Beverly and just spearheads a fantastic idea about putting together a pre-Mother's Day retreat. What made you want to host this retreat?
I'm going to answer that question, but first I want to not forget the moment where I had my big aha at breakfast. Now, I don't know if you remember it, but it was a big deal to me.
What?
And that was, I remember there's two people between us. And I'm like, man, she let out a couple of nuggets of information. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I had seen the month prior that there was a workshop that you were having, The Confident Woman. And I couldn't go. I remember seeing it, and it was perfect, and I couldn't go, but I wanted like more. I'm like, who is this person? And then I'm like, could it be that person? And then I asked you the question. I'm like, are you a vocalist?
That's
and then
right.
She said, that's right. I do. And I was like, wow. Because I then connected the visible workshop that I had seen and was interested in with the feeling of this person. And that is the moment where no matter what, I have to be at that workshop. Or I have to create an opportunity to have this workshop. Not only is it a 4-hour time block with you, which is what I wanted, but it's every sign pointed to this is where we had to go, and that's when I reached out.
That is so for those of you who meet your new bestie, it's really cool when you get to figure out like, how did this happen, and you hear their perspective for, was it good for you too? Tell us about the retreat. Where is it? When is it? How do they get information?
Yeah.
Are there receipts? I don't know.
Yes. The retreat is on April 26th. That is a Saturday, right after Easter, for those that celebrate. And it is in the heart of Beverly. It is right next to 2 Mile Coffee. It's a beautiful, sweet space there. And it's from 1 to 5 p.m. So a nice chunk of the afternoon. You don't get into dinner. It's after lunch. We'll have some lovely snacks. And we currently have 8 seats available. Or who knows how many. They're moving fast. And it's just an opportunity to, I think there's a lot of times where we learn things and like, oh yes, if I stand up straight and my posture is yes, that's right. But how many times in our life do we really get to absorb it, embody it? It's one of my favorite words, because it's one thing when it's in the head, but it's gotta really make it through our body, so that way it's effortless in life.
Yes.
So April 26th, 1 to 5 p.m. There is a short registration form, literally your name and what it is that you'd like to, or the biggest challenges that you have. And then that's it. And it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. And then that's it. And it's going to be amazing. How many things in your life can you say, that's it, it's going to be amazing? Yeah. It's going to be amazing. April 26th, for those of you who feel it. You feel it. Those who are who have the same, all the things all the awakenings, the questioning, the desires that are happening. For those of you that's popping up for you right now, click the link. And we look forward to seeing you on the 26th of April.
Yes.